Welcome to an Incrediblecoasters Top 10 list. When we list stuff, we actually explain why. Steel coasters. They come in so many different shapes and sizes. They can do so much. They can successfully go upside down and just twist in ways that wooden coasters just can't. At least not until Rocky Mountain coasters came along, but whatever. While wooden coasters were the cool kids on the block in the 1920s, steel coasters were still being developed. A couple steel coasters began popping up in the 1950s, but in 1959, the first modern steel coaster opened up at the Disneyland Resort as the Matterhorn, which is known to people all around the world. But what really made steel coasters take off was the first mine train, Runaway Mine Train, opening at Six Flags Over Texas. Mine trains then began popping up like daisies along with Galaxies and Schwarzkopf Wildcats and Jumbo Jets. Steel coaster was doing great. But what really revolutionized the steel coaster was Corkscrew at Knott's Berry Farm, now located at Silverwood. This was the first successful coaster to go upside down. And since then, people have gone nuts for inversions. And the list of innovations just keeps piling on up. Schwarzkopf shuttle loops first invented launch coasters as well as shuttle coasters. Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point became the first hypercoaster and revolutionized size. And many other innovations have shaped steel coasters into the crazy, twisted, humongous, mind-fucking machines that are today's steel coasters. They can come in every shape imaginable. Some are amazing, some are just okay, some are for credit whores only, and some make you want to cry. The possibilities for steel coasters are endless with all the many different kinds of breeds, and all the insane types of coasters within these breeds of coasters. However, within all the thousands of steel coasters in the world, which ones are the best? Which steel coasters make you want to jump with joy the most? And which breeds make the cut? Well, we don't answer that, but by looking at the list, you can get a semi-idea of what our style is. So sit back and be prepared to take a look at this list of some of the wildest rides ever. You are going to see 10 amazing roller coasters that turn simple metal into 10 insane rides. They literally turn shit into gold here. Now let's take a look at the list. Number 10. Montu at Busch Gardens, Tampa. In Tampa, Florida, the United States. Named after the Egyptian god of war, Montu manages to give you quite a ride. With all that this ride does, you would think that you were on the battlefields of a war. Except you're not crapping your pants in fear, thinking, oh shit, I'm going to die! At least not if you're a roller coaster enthusiast. But still, this is a really damn good ride. You've got 7 inversions. 2 of them are a Batwing, which is awesome. And to top it all off, Montu is really, really forceful. This is no silver bullet or talent here. We're talking forceful here. Now to be fair and give it some criticism, there are some trim brakes on Montu, which if removed, could bring Montu quite up a few spots. However, I know they need them for maintenance, GP appeal, and other appeal. But even so, Montu is a damn good ride, with some damn strong forces. Montu. It's better than the actual pyramids of Giza. No, not really, but whatever, it's great. Number 9. Insane at Grönalund in Stockholm, Sweden. If you're groaning at me putting this on this list, take a deep breath and calm down. They do things differently at Grönalund. This is not Six Flags Magic Mountain. They actually know how to run a Zack spin here. So yeah, if you've been reading this site for many years now, you may have remembered that I originally put Green Lantern on my top 10 steel coasters list when it first opened up. And that was before Six Flags Magic Mountain went and permanently ruined the ride. Seriously, Green Lantern is fucking awful now. But anyways, let's talk about Insane. This is the coaster that Green Lantern is supposed to be a clone of, and is supposedly so much better than. Let me put it this way. Insane, at its absolute worst, is on par with Green Lantern at its absolute best, back when it first opened up and when was a brand spanking new ride. Yeah, As the name implies, insane is insane! It flips like crazy, you face the ground, you get all this hang time, and it's just this crazy, out of control ride. It's so good! It is so fucking good! I really hope that these Zaxmans catch on, and that we truly get more Insanes out there, and that they aren't ruined like Green Lantern. Insane? It's truly insane! Number 8. Piraten at the GForce Sommerland at Nimtofte, Denmark. Now, if you're the kind of person who judges a book by its cover, or a roller coaster by its size, you may be scratching your head as to why I put this tiny little coaster on this top 10 steel coasters list. Well, it may be small, but this ride is actually insane! Yeah, Piraten is one of those intimate megalites. Rides which are known to have some of the best and most powerful airtime on the planet. They have a good reputation, and it's not for no reason. These things are just absolutely slathered in airtime and craziness. Those little hills have some of the strongest ejector air on any coaster. And while these little twists on the ride may not look like much, they have some really strong laterals. It never loses any of its speed, and it just keeps going and going, getting stronger and stronger, trying to eject you from your seat like a bucking horse. It just throws you around in every direction. It's a shame that these rides are only in Eurasia and refuse to make it over to North America, because they really are great rides and some of the best on the planet. If you have a chance to ride Piraten or any of the other intimate megalites, take it! They are amazing rides. You will love them. They're worth more than gold. Arr! Number 7. Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, the United States. Phantom's Revenge has a very interesting history. It was originally known as Steel Phantom, which was kind of like Phantom's Revenge, but with loops. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. But who cares? In 2001, they turned Steel Phantom into Phantom's Revenge, and it is awesome. It doesn't matter if Steel Phantom was good or not, because it's now being replaced by one of the best coasters of all time. Seriously, this ride is amazing. I mean, the airtime on this ride is just incredible. Your ass will really be in for a treat on Phantom's Revenge. But there's far more to this ride than ejector air. Phantom's Revenge also has some great speed, some good laterals, and some other surprises. It's also very unique in that the second drop is actually the biggest drop, and the layout is not very common for a hypercoaster. Nevertheless, it is amazing. Phantom's Revenge. The opera doesn't know what's coming to it. Kumba at Busch Gardens Tampa in Tampa, Florida, the United States. We're back at Busch Gardens Tampa, and we got another top 10 coaster to go through here. Busch Gardens Tampa is a really awesome park, since this is their second coaster on our top 10 list. And rightly so. They're both awesome. Their star attraction is definitely Kumba. Now when you first look at Kumba, it looks fun, but it doesn't look so special. It looks like your typical B&M standard layout. However, there's just one little secret ingredient that really propels Kumba up the list from all the others. Force! This may be one of the most forceful coasters ever. Seriously, this ride brings Montu down to the level of Silverbolt and Talon. That's how strong the forces on this ride are. In fact, when I was riding Kumba Superman style, I almost saw my arms going to come out of the socket on the Heartline spin. That's how powerful this ride is. You don't hear me saying that about any other coasters now, do you? Kumba, it learned to use the Force. Number 5. X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain, Valencia, California, the United States. Located right in my own backyard, X2 is one of those coasters that thinks outside the box. It's the type of coaster that you'd see on a Saturday morning cartoon that just looks demented. So this obviously gets people's attention as they have to drive right by it to get into the parking lot. And rightly so. This ride is insane. You don't even know if you're going forwards or backwards. Well, you do, but it switches throughout the ride. Now, originally, X2 opened up as X, but then X was having problems with its trains, so we turned it into X2 and gave it new trains. Oh, and music, fire, and a paint job that actually fits the ride. X2 doesn't do things that normal coasters do. It does a lot of strange, funky stuff that while I don't exactly know what it is, it plants a smile on my face every single time. I know I've ridden it about a bazillion times and I always come off happy. And on top of that, it is home to the greatest first drop on any coaster ever built. Now there is some controversy about this ride because it's got some mixed reviews in the coaster community. Yeah, there's people like me who are on Team X2 that really love it, and then there are those who hate X2. They say it's rough, it's painful, they don't know what to think of it. Come on, it's not rough, but I can sort of see their opinion. But what's really going to piss some people off is that I put X2 on the list and not Twisted Colossus. Yep. The 40 coaster makes it on here, a good one, but not Twisted Colossus. And this will piss some people off because Twisted Colossus is an RMC. And yeah, it's really freaking good. Really, really freaking good. Trust me, if this was a top 15 list, you would see Twisted Colossus, I swear. I promise you, if this was a top 15 list, Twisted Colossus would be on the list. Possibly top 12. And it's really freaking good. Do not get me wrong, Twisted Colossus is an amazing ride. I do not want to put that ride down. It and X2 are easily the best coasters in all of Magic Mountain, if not California. They're both great rides. So don't get me wrong, I love Twisted Colossus. It's great, it's really freaking great. Especially when it duels. But yeah, it's not. X2 just gets the edge. I'm really sorry, RAMC. I'm really sorry, Rocky Mountain fans. I'm really sorry. I do love the ride. I do. I love the ride. Don't form an angry mob, please. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's just... I'm sorry. But yeah, this ride is amazing. X2, you better be in. The ceremony is about to begin. Number 4. Ice Speed at Mirabilandia in Savio, Italy. Like Busch Gardens Tampa, Mirabilandia is also an awesome park, as it too has some seriously amazing coasters. And yeah, this is a really freaking good one. This is one of those coasters when someone asks, what do you like about this ride? All you can say is everything. Seriously, everything on this ride is great. The launch is powerful. The ride is fast and maintains its speed throughout the entire ride. The ride has some good ejector on the top hat, and those hills, god damn, those hills are so powerful, they just eject you. It's almost like El Toro for a second here. And then you have those Heartline rolls. Those fucking Heartline rolls. Those things are simply unbelievable. I don't know how to express how much I love these Heartline rolls. These things are just so powerful that they put Kumba to shame. Think about that. I mean, they just whip you with no mercy at all. In fact, Maverick was supposed to have a Heartline roll like this, but they took it out because they just said it'd be too intense. Man, if they just kept that roll. Oh well, really, the only problem I can possibly think of with this ride is that it's kind of on the short side. But still, even for this ride, it's a lot longer than the other rocket coasters that Intamin has produced. So yeah, Ice Speed. I love this thing to death! Number 3. Maverick at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, the United States. When you first look at Maverick, you say to yourself, that's it? That's a top 10 coaster? That thing is puny! Well, looks can be deceiving. This thing is fucking amazing. Everything about this ride is just pure shock. While the ride itself may be a little bit small, everything it does is powerful. It is seriously one of the craziest coasters I have ever been on. Just like Ice Speed, this ride does everything, it does everything well. I'd even go as far as to call it the American Ice Speed. It's the type of ride that can make your mouth drop right after it just dropped from another amazing element on the ride. It has a crazy first drop and an intense launch, along with some extreme ejector air, some smooth inversions, and some of the most insane ladders you'll ever encounter. These things would make a wild mouse commit suicide and shame. So yeah, it may be small, but it does everything, and it does everything right. Maverick, one of the most badass coasters on the planet. Bizarro at Six Flags New England in Agawam, Massachusetts, the United States. There are a lot of hypercoasters out there. However, none of them match up to Bizarro. Now, going back to Superman, okay, all the B&M hypers may be fun and have overrated floater air, but Bizarro can kick all of their asses in a millisecond. And the airtime, oh man, the airtime on this ride is freaking incredible. It's got all sorts of ejector air, including those crazy bunny hops as well as the It Happens hill, where no matter where you sit, you just get ejected out of your seat. You can't avoid it. It happens. And it even has some floater air, such as the first hill right after the first drop. But Bizarro not only has great airtime, it also has a great first drop, nice speeds, a nice setting, fun opportunities to take the tunnel, and of course, some truly crazy laterals in the second half that work quite nicely with the crazy ejector air bunny hops. Bizarro not quite number one, but Bizarro's still better than most coasters out there. Number 1. Expedition GForce at Holiday Park in Haßloch, Germany. Yeah, this one shouldn't be too big of a surprise for you. It's pretty much on everyone's top 10 list. And yeah, this ride is really that freaking good. It's pretty much the European equivalent of Bizarro at Six Flags New England. And yeah, this ride is all about the airtime. Holy shit, man, this ride has some good airtime. And it's all over the ride and all over the spectrum. Extreme ejector air, long sustained floater air, you name it, Expedition GForce has got it. The bunny hops at the end, I mean, damn, you are really in for a treat. And that first drop, it's amazing. Not only does it have great ejector air, but it also has some great laterals and an incredible rush of speed. It rivals on with X2 as far as first drops go. So yeah, that says a lot about it. And despite all the amazing airtime and the great first drop, there's more to it. It's got some great laterals, there are a lot of overbanks and curves, great pacing with it always feeling fast and never slowing down, and a great setting in the German woods. Expedition GForce, worthy of its praise and the number 1 spot on this list.